there, enthusiasts. Brandon and Kenny here. Coming back at you. Hey, brother. Who did that? Who is that?
You know what's really funny? If I don't say anything, you'll just keep going.
That is,
It's Hulk Hogan.
what did, oh, yeah, that is Hogan. Then what did, Randy Savage say? Oh, he
He
was
went
like
to-
that, but he always talked like that, right?
Step into a Slim Jim.
Never do a snip. Then he snapped into a tree
Hey,
limb.
brother. I'm gonna grab him, and I'm gonna twist him, and I'm gonna turn him into deep fried jerky.
Did he actually say that, or are you like playing on the whole Slim
He said
Jim
a
thing?
lot of things. I was like, oh yeah. Like he was the Kool-Aid Man.
Busting through walls. Oh yeah.
But it's just Macho Man Randy Savage. Did you play Skyrim yet?
No.
So the new thing about the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, like in 2011, is that there's dragons. There's this really good mod that you can put on the PC where you turn all dragons into Randy Savage, but it's like a giant flying Randy Savage. So I was watching. I love watching people play Let's Play on YouTube and stuff like that. And I was watching the Game Grumps do it. I've talked about them before. My brother and I love them. They are not age appropriate for kids, but they're really
Warning,
funny.
parents out there.
But so they're like playing Skyrim and they're like playing all these mods and everything. They normally only play games if like they can be super entertaining while playing it. So Skyrim's not one that they would normally do, but they played it with a bunch of mods and they tried to speed run it to make it entertaining. And so they show you like they have the Randy Savage mod, and then like so they're in one part of the game where they're just close to like this thing that they have to get, and they're almost there. They're low on health, and then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, they're out in the middle of the wilderness. All of a sudden, like you hear in the background, like they're not talking, and then you just hear really slowly in the background, "Step into a slippery." and then they're like, "Oh crap!" And then a giant Randy Savage dragon comes down and kills him. But just there's something about that, like they just kept saying, "Like, man, I hope a dragon isn't here. Man, I really hope a dragon." And then just in the background, "Step into a slip game," like in the distance. That was
I don't know if
funny.
I've ever played any game
with
with
mods.
a full mod set. I mean,
No?
I've used mods, but not like
There's
so,
some good
was
ones
it,
out there.
one of the most classic ones, if I'm remembering this correctly. Wasn't it? Wasn't it Doom that had a Barney mod? Remember Barney the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like,
I love you, you love me. we're a
yeah,
happy
that
family.
thing. You could make like all the monsters Barney instead. That was one of the first mods I ever remember like hearing about. I'm pretty sure it was Doom.
That one I don't know.
Yeah.
I really love that Randy Savage mod. Anything that has like swords in it. If I can mod a lightsaber in there instead, I'm always happy. I'm always very happy. There was who is it? There was that game. I don't know who it was about. I think it was like a Trix, the cereal.
Yeah.
They took Doom and they modded Trix cereal over it, and all the enemies became like normal thing. It wasn't Trix.
Wait, no. How long ago was this?
This is like 90s.
Mini Wheats.
It was Mini Wheats,
I remember that game.
and it was actually licensed. So it just used the Doom engine. It used the Doom levels, everything from Doom.
We're gonna have to look that
But
up.
it was super kid friendly because it was Mini
I
Wheats.
forgot about that game.
That was legit though. That was a mod that was like licensed.
My friend had that game. I didn't for some reason. And I remember going over to his place and he had it. I'm like, what is this thing? And we used to play it on his Gateway 2000. So there you
Yeah.
go. That dates it a little bit. It was just the dumbest thing because it was like they were the shredded mini wheats, right?
Yeah.
Is what they were.
And then these
Of all
enemies,
things.
the enemies were like these goopy green aliens.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to find
That's
that.
weird.
We're gonna have
That's
to play
weird.
that.
I remember one time I got in a cereal box. They had a disc for the Pokemon trading card game, but it wasn't the Game Boy game.
No,
it was like an actual CD
it was a
for
CD.
your computer.
I had that too. What?
And you know what? That game was baller. That
It wa-
free game that you got in the cereal box.
Well, because I think what it was supposed to be a training game,
Mm.
like to teach you how to play, so that you would go and buy the
but
cards.
they had a campaign.
You would go through and battle trainers and all that stuff.
But like everything was pre-made. It wasn't like a random deck of cards that you got. It was like something in there to
Mhm.
like, so you have a certain way to do it. But it wasn't just training. They had like, you could actually like compete in like a tournament,
right.
but it was a pre-made one. But technically, it was a campaign.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
I
they
mean,
had,
yeah,
like, they had
because
people
you would have to go through
verse-
and battle.
They were like voice line and stuff like that. Man, that was a good game. If I get my hands on that one, I'd love that. Today we're talking about a Nintendo.
Nintendo Direct.
Which, you know, if you're in our audience and you didn't expect it, I mean, really, shame on you.
Nintendo Directoroo.
Did I ever tell you how my brother came up with that accent? We loved Iron Chef. My siblings and I told you
is
that.
legit. Yeah.
Did I show you that video?
Is that the
Where
chairman?
he
Is that
goes-
supposed to be the chairman?
Yeah, the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. There's this guy that goes around and he'll like interview people. And he used to, we still do this to this day.
Probably not good.
He would, instead of saying "excuse me," like they would be in the middle of talking, like because it's essentially like a sports cooking thing. Really, it's a competition.
Yeah.
But it's done in the style of sports, like there's announcers and stuff like that. But there would be a guy that would quote unquote be in the field, in the kitchen, and he would be getting information from the chefs.
Mm-hmm.
So he would every once in a while interrupt the announcers, and instead of saying "excuse me," he would go "squeeze on,
Squeeze on.
squeeze on." No, it would be very Japanese. "Squeeze on."
Squeeze on.
And then he would say his thing. "Squeeze on, I just talked to Billy, and it turns out that he is using raw chicken from the fridge." Like something like that. But he'd always go into "squeeze on." Like so we always did this in the house where it doesn't matter what you're talking about. This is just us four boys. Doesn't matter what you're talking about, what you're doing. At any point in time, you can always go, "Squeeze on. I just wanted to let you know that I took your ice cream out of the fridge and I made a sundae." And then you'd go away. And then you never said thank you. You never said please. It's just "squeeze on." And then, but we do the "eru." You add "eru," E-R-U, but flip the R. You add that to the end of any word, and in our minds, that makes it Japanese.
Green Binaru.
Because when we were kids, we watched Iron Chef, and that's what the announcer sounded like. He still had his Japanese accent, but he didn't 100% know English. So he'd go, "Oh, he's grabbing the fisharu now," something like that. He would just add that at the end of it.
That's like when people add O to words to make it Spanish.
Yeah, fisho.
Here's my cato.
He's that grabbing the fisho,
Doggo.
and he's making pork chapos.
Pork chapos.
Actually,
Los pork chapos.
Los pork chapos. That actually does sound Spanish. Well, but like you see what I mean.
Los
So
pork chaporos.
So my brothers and I, we never call it Nintendo. It's Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Because we heard somebody from Nintendo calling that before. Nintendo Direct.
So what you got to do is you need to put that in a sentence like we were talking. Was this 2 podcasts ago? You say, "Yeah, I really like stuff made by Nintendo, and it's really
Yeah,
cool
did you
to play."
check the new Nintendo Direct?
So Nintendo Direct. So this is the second one we've had for the Switch, not including the
What?
initial one, right?
Wow, that's so many. They do about like 4 a year.
Well, no, they have those are the minis, right?
No,
they have the
yeah.
minis, and then they have
No, they do 4
larger
main ones a year.
Are those all considered main ones?
Yeah, we
I
had
thought
one
they're
in
considered
January.
minis.
We had one right before Odyssey came out. We had one a little bit ago. We have
See-
Nintendo Minis all the time. Minis
That's what I
happen-
thought. I thought they were all
Mini
minis.
happens like once a month.
Oh, okay.
What
I didn't
did
realize
this
that.
say? Because it says mini. Was it the same mini?
Well, this one didn't.
Usually the mini
Right?
Nintendo Directs just pop out, like Nintendo Labo when that was
Right.
announced
That was
in
a mini,
January.
right?
That was a mini. They usually will pre-plan their Nintendo Directs like a week in advance. You'll know that one's coming up.
Right. Like this last one was on the 8th.
I love that they do that too. Like Nintendo has become anti E3. I mean, not really, because they still do stuff for it. But I remember the first week or the first year that Nintendo was not at E3. I think it was 2012 they did that. In 2011, they announced Skyward Sword. And I remember that was the last time that they were at E3 because they had an actual like orchestra. And to be honest, their presentation was awesome. Like not just Skyward Sword, like everything was awesome.
Yeah.
They had an actual orchestra there. Like for the whole thing. Like
That's
it was
pretty
really
legit.
cool. And then, I don't know, maybe it's just budgetary, just makes more sense. But I've been happy with what they've been doing. I like the Nintendo Directs.
See, what I like about the big companies doing their own like press streams like that is like I always felt really overwhelmed after like E3 and like even like CES and stuff because like
My brothers used to take time off work
well
for for the week.
there's
of E3.
so much stuff that would get announced that like to consume it all it would take like days to really figure out everything.
Yeah. And
So
even
the next
then,
thing-
none of it is coming out until that holiday.
Right. So it'd be like just this massive like press dump, really.
What you're talking about, it was especially bad like 10 years ago.
Right, because that's when everybody was at those events.
And that's all they announced.
now that
were
like
that stuff.
Nintendo and
Nintendo.
Microsoft
Microsoft Daddy.
And they're doing their own like streams like Nintendo Direct and stuff.
Nintendo
It
Direct Daddy.
spreads it out. So like we on the 8th, we only had to focus on Nintendo. We didn't have to think about third parties or any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just Nintendo. And it's so much easier to consume. And because they set their own cycle, you don't have to worry about like, oh, this is holiday, right? We're sitting here in March and they're talking about holiday 2018. So because they can spread it out better.
I don't remember anything about the Direct, so you're gonna have to help me because
So
it came out like
so
what?
I have the list here. We
When
won't
did it
go
come
through
out?
everything because we could probably spend like hours talking
When was
about
this
everything.
Direct?
This Direct was from the 8th.
That's right.
The one that just happened.
That's
this
right.
month.
So we're a little late,
We're a little late,
but we still want
but
to talk about it.
actually it's kind of nice that we're a little late because some of the stuff came out already. All right, so I have the list from the Nintendo Direct, so we should just kind of pop over some of these and just kind of give some reaction.
You know what's funny?
What?
They had a Nintendo Direct Mini like we were talking about just a little while ago too.
Which one was this?
They're Nindies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean, like that's the
Nindies
clear
is a little
difference.
different. It is a mini, but it's
Yeah.
a little different because that's all third party.
Which there's nothing really interesting. I thought some of the games looked interesting on the Nindies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna check them out.
I'm going to hop around a little bit here and just pick some of the ones that I thought would be really good to talk
Name
about.
them off, bro.
Are we going to stay Switch focused or 3DS too?
Switch because there wasn't really that much interesting.
I'm
stuff
going to
on
actually make a
3DS.
note about the 3DS. I'm starting to get the feel that it's getting close to end of life based on the titles that are coming out. It's
Like
a lot
what?
of like port. There's not like a lot of like heavy development happening in there. Like for example, what is it? Luigi's Mansion or whatever is coming out. And I was watching this video. They said the only reason it's probably even coming to the 3DS is because the same engine that's in that was already ported for a different game. So it's easy enough for them to get
Luigi's
over.
Mansion 2, which came out
Or
3
whatever
years
it
ago on
was.
the
So
3DS.
they could just reuse the engine. Granted, there's what
Great game though.
Detective Pikachu's coming out, but
That's already
otherwise
out.
it's
That just came out.
yeah. Oh, did it actually come out already?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen it, but I saw there was a review.
that was the only like oh wow. Oh, and then Toad's game, but that was also
Captain Toad.
yeah, that was a port, and it's because they had
That's
the
not a
engine
port.
available.
That's a new game.
I thought that was a port.
It's using the same engine, but it's not a port.
Okay, that's what it was. So they're
Yeah.
sharing an engine.
Yeah.
So they're not doing a
But
lot of
Nintendo-
heavy development on the 3DS.
Nintendo's able to take like those games that were on the Wii U or something like that, pretty easily swap it over to the 3DS, and then add different levels and stuff like that to make
Yeah.
it a new game. Pretty simple. They did that for Mario Maker.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I figured that's
Pretty
probably
much
how
the
they did.
same engine. They
Can't
don't let
wait
you
for
go
Mario
online,
Maker
though.
on Switch.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Probably because the Odyssey engine. Stuff.
Well, not only that, but 3DS Mario Maker, they don't let you go online. Which
They
is the
don't?
best part about Mario Maker.
I didn't realize that.
No, it's all homebrew. That comes with
Oh,
like
that
courses that are
sucks.
pre-made and stuff like that.
All the best ones are online.
Yep.
That's dumb.
Tell me about it.
All right, so Switch.
City
So the first one here is Kirby. So I will say I didn't think I was going to get this game. I actually bought it because
What?
Seth wanted to play.
We's gonna play it today.
Well, because I downloaded the demo.
Did you fix your Joy-Con?
I got a new one.
You got a new one?
Yeah, the dead one's actually right there.
Well, I'm glad you got a new one. So what we'll do is tonight, can we play that for a little bit?
Yeah, we can play Kirby.
That'd be fun.
So I bought it for Seth, but I mean I kicked it off too just to try it. When I watched the Nintendo Direct video, it seems super childish. Like
It's not
almost-
childish. It's simple.
It's very simple. It's
It's
basically
a-
like Mario scaled way back. Like simple,
I wouldn't say
simple.
way back because Mario's not the hardest platform game out there.
It's not, but
Super Mario Maker can be based on the levels that people have made.
I don't know, like playing Mario Odyssey, like there's some like you have to get pretty good for some of the levels. Like you can play it without being pro. But
Yeah.
there's some things you need to like know how to do like triple actions and stuff that makes it a little more involved. Where like Kirby, it's just not like that. Like a
Yeah.
lot of moves are assisted and things like that. It is fun. There's some neat things in it, but I've only played it for a couple hours. So playing Kirby, I could see being a decent game for most people. If you want a light platformer,
Something that's easy to play with the kids.
yeah, that's a good one. And actually, just for
Yep.
kids in general, I'd say 5 and up. So what do you think of Captain Toad? Because that's coming to the Switch
I love
too.
Captain Toad. My brother had it.
Oh,
It's
really?
super fun. It's a puzzle game.
Yeah, I don't think I'll probably end up picking that one up.
Don't look at it as a skin of anything else but a puzzle game.
Yeah, I mean, it seems fun. The graphics and stuff look. I mean, they're on par with all the other current Nintendo graphics.
It's not going to be full price.
I hope not. I wouldn't pay $60 for that.
It's not.
I was hesitant on $60 for Kirby. Speaking of games worth money, though, I am super excited for this. Like really excited.
Okay, go for it.
And I know you've already had the luxury because you have a PlayStation, but I am very much looking forward
Dark
to Crash
Souls?
Bandicoot
Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Yeah,
coming to the Switch.
I already have that.
So
On
all the
PlayStation.
remastered stuff that PlayStation recently got,
Yeah.
we're getting on the Switch. I am super psyched.
Now that was rumored for a while now, but nobody believed it because
Right.
it's Crash Bandicoot.
Why would it end up on the Switch? Which honestly, it's still hard to believe that.
Yeah.
Because that's
Well,
that's
picture
Sony
this.
property.
Picture this. When was the last time you played a Smash Brothers game? Did you play it for
the
Wii U?
I didn't play Wii U. I played Wii,
Okay.
which was a fantastic.
Well, put it.
Smash Brothers.
Think about this. There has been on the Wii U and the 3DS. They did like a mashup where you had two different versions, but it's the same game.
Oh, there was a
There were some crossovers from other
because they had Snake.
consoles. Well, Snake has been on the Nintendo games before. Where Crash Bandicoot is actually owned by Sony, Sony Entertainment America. So it's 100% a PlayStation franchise, first party.
Well, when Crash Bandicoot came out back in the day, there was a commercial of Crash Bandicoot making fun of Nintendo.
Yeah. How cool would it be? Because
Have
I
him
think
in
he'd be
Smash.
perfect. I think he would be perfect for it.
And he would have the mask and all that stuff floating around him.
Uh-huh.
No, that'd be really cool.
I think he'd be perfect for Smash Brothers. No, you know what? Forget it. Nope. They're just doing it. Like we're literally predicting the future. That is.
I don't know. I didn't
it's
even
not
think
even
of
a
that.
prediction. That is going to happen.
All right, so that
There's
transition.
no way that they would have planned it this way, where you get the Insane trilogy
Yeah, that's
in the same Nintendo Direct where they announce the Smash Brothers.
That's a good point. So obviously transition
by
is
the
Smash
way-
Brothers.
Spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about it in a moment. They announced Smash Brothers, but it's very teaser, it's super teaser.
Very good teaser though.
Yeah, I thought so.
The way it flowed was really cool.
You got Splatoon characters in there now, which is
Well,
cool.
because they went from
Because
this.
Splatoon's doing some new stuff. That's fun.
So the Splatoon DLC trailer, they made it longer, and then it flowed into the Smash one. And the way that happened, I was just like, "Dang, yo!"
Dayo.
It was really cool.
Dayo.
Now people are questioning, like, is this a new game? Is it a port or what? But
No, it's a new.
It's a
game.
new
It's gotta
game.
be a new game.
and there's one thing that everyone's saying is
Because
giving it away.
if it was a port, they would have said that.
So the reason people are saying that it has to be a new game is because they're putting Breath of the Wild Link in it. And Nintendo, if they port something, they're not going to put new characters into a port most of the time.
That's not true.
They'll update stuff. They might tweak some graphics, things like that. But they normally won't
They
put
put
new
new stuff in
in what?
Mario Kart 8. They put new characters.
What did they put in there? That was
They put
new?
in new carts, and they brought back battle mode. Battle mode is not on
The only
Mario Kart 8
reason they
for the
brought
Wii-
back battle
Wii U.
mode is because they were already working on it in the Wii U,
Well,
and
yeah,
they
no,
abandoned it.
that's obvious. But I'm saying that
They wouldn't have done that just for.
I'm saying that if they were going to do a remake of the old Smash, it's not a port. We know that it's
Right.
not a port. Mostly, and that's not my reasoning. My reasoning is that if it was a port, they would have not made it a teaser, a very obligatory teaser trailer. It would have been a full-on trailer where they would have said,
Right.
"This, by the way, this one that you've already played, it's coming over."
Right.
Because it's still a big thing. Like Super Mario Kart 8 was a big thing, getting deluxe.
Yeah.
But it would be they put a lot of hype into it, you know. So no, it's gonna be new. They may just call it Smash Switch, like the other ones they called Super Smash Brothers Wii U and Super Smash Brothers 3DS. They're the same game.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they're the same game. It's just you play it on two different consoles. So literally, you played you just got my 3DS, so you haven't experienced any of this stuff. You literally got the Wii U version on the 3DS, and it was really cool. Like they didn't have it on their name, so they may call this Super Smash Switch
That's interesting. Well, because like for the
or
Wii,
Switcher Smash Brothers.
I think they would just give it a name. Because like for the Wii, it was what? Was that Melee or was that Brawl?
Brawl was the Wii.
And then Melee,
Melee
must
was
have
the
been
GameCube, which was my favorite.
that was your favorite. I really like Brawl.
Brawl was good.
I
But
thought the campaign was
Melee-
even really good in
They
Brawl.
introduced some really cool stuff in Melee. The trophy collection thing in Melee, where you earn trophies throughout the game. But you could also
Oh.
earn coins that you could then go in for. Oh wow! Melee was one of the first loot crate systems,
Oh yeah.
but you couldn't pay for anything.
Right.
Like you could actually
You
use
could
your
only
currency.
earn it.
But that trophy system, you couldn't pay for it. But 100% it was a loot crate. You know, you paid for. The more coins you paid, the more chance you had to get a new trophy, one that you haven't got before. Which I really like that system. I collected. I have how long has that game been out? 15 years. In 15 years, by the
Holy
way, I
crap.
still have it. I still have my save from when I was 13 years old. And Brandon, the last time I played it was 2 months ago. Like, I still play it at least 4 or 5 times a year.
I was actually, after seeing the trailer, I was thinking about busting out the Wii and playing.
You should.
Brawl.
Well, what I was going to say was that I'm still missing 2 trophies after 15 years. I've been trying.
Do you not know where they are? Can you, or is it difficult to get them?
They're random. Number one.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
Number 2, I can use coins that I can earn to get trophies, but I've done that so many times throughout the years that I have to put a ridiculous amount of coins in to guarantee that I'm going to get a new trophy. Like, the odds go up that the trophy that you get is a new one that you don't have yet.
Oh, yeah.
By
Yep.
the more coins you put in.
That makes
And
sense.
the more often you do that, the odds go down for you. Like, you have to put in more coins.
You need to just
tough.
You need to just let it run, randomly generate, and if it's not what you want, just pull the power real quick before it saves.
It's a terrible idea. No, actually, what I did
That's how you duplicate
3 years
Pokemon.
ago, I did a tournament mode where I just did all computer
Yeah.
characters, and I just let this automatically run in tournament mode where I had to click A after each match, and that's all I had to do, and it would automatically run. I did that for 6 hours,
Jeez, man.
turned coins, and I got 3 new trophies doing that. I could probably do that again. I only have 2 left to get out of like 280 trophies that they had, but
Oh, wow.
at this point in time, it's just not worth it.
So,
Don't point at me. Put your finger down.
would Mario Tennis does look like it'd be fun,
Yeah, I'm
and
really
especially
excited for it.
with so
There's a story mode.
I feel
The last time there was a story mode for a Mario Tennis game was the Nintendo 64. Like, there's actually going to be a campaign mode.
a story mode. That
Yeah,
seems-
dude.
What's the story?
You didn't see him like playing tennis against like a giant piranha plant
I guess I didn't.
that was like hitting the ball
I don't-
back with
yeah, I'll
his
have to
tongue or
rewatch
something
it
like
now.
that.
But I'm curious. Like, I can only assume it's going to use motion controls, right?
Hopefully, it's very similar to
But
the Wii tennis on Wii Sports.
But if it does use motion control,
Oh, it does use motion control. They talk about it in the trailer.
isn't one of the Joy-Con better at it because it has the?
Not necessarily.
I'm trying
no,
because
no, because they
I'll have
use
to look at the
different
hardware
technology.
again.
It's how like you could use the nunchuck on the Wii U.
Right.
There's no sensor in it. It uses different types of sensors.
Yeah.
Where it still works. I've never had a problem with a nunchuck on a Wii U, but it does that. But it's better. It's fine. They'll both work.
I think it's the right Joy-Con is the better motion control one.
Yeah, because it uses the camera as well.
Right.
But
The left one still
There's
has like an
really no
accelerometer and
difference.
stuff in it.
like, because you've used it as a Wii controller, right? Like playing what's that game where you program Human Resource Machine?
Human resource machine. Yep.
Yeah, so the game that you program, Human Resource Machine, you actually could use motion controls to make like a Wii style pointer on the screen.
Right.
Both the controllers work perfectly well for it.
I don't think I ever tried the other one. I only
I
tried,
tried
the right
both.
one. Did
Yeah,
they both work?
because I was very curious about it. They both work. It'll be fine. Because playing tennis is not hard. It doesn't take a lot of motion
Right.
control to do that. But I love that. That's actually the one modern game that my mom would constantly play with me.
Mario Tennis.
Like we would literally sit right in front of the TV. We would both face the TV, and we would just play against like computers. We did that when I was sick my senior year. I was sick at home, and my mom was sick as well, so she stayed home from work. And we just sat. We put the 2 recliners up to the TV
Yeah.
with this big thick blankets in like 2007, when the Wii was still really cool.
Yeah.
And we just played. We played Wii tennis, probably for like a good 4 or 5 hours. It was awesome.
I feel like it's going to make me really wish that Nintendo included like Switch Sports.
Oh, you mean like Wii Sports?
Like Wii Sports.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. That would be really neat to see because you could do Switch in a lot of cool ways. For example, they talked about the Wii U. They had a demo when the Wii U came out where you would use the Wii controller as a golf club,
Mhm.
and then you would literally put the Wii U gamepad on the ground, and you would see the golf ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Think of how much easier that would be on Switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like little stuff
Be
like that
nice.
would be kind of neat.
I
But-
don't know. Maybe when the Switch Pro comes out.
But you're right. I love to see like Switch bowling. I love to see, Switch sports would be cool. You've already figured out the name.
Switch Sports. Because
Switch
that
Sports.
was difficult to come up with.
Yeah.
So, anyway, those were the main highlights for me from the Direct.
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought it was.
super pumped.
I thought it was good.
It's all coming out the spring too. Did you see how high my voice got right there?
Yeah.
No, I'm super pumped.
I'm super pumped.
It's gonna be awesome.
Pump you up.
I love you, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
All right, Brandon. Give the hashtags. You
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all over the web. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Skibidi-bidi-bop jazz. That's what you do. I told you that. If you ever scat, you have to say the word jazz afterwards.
Skittle Pop Pop Jazz!
That was a podcast you chose to listen to. Do you think you make good choices? Whether you do, you heard Brandon and Candy talk about things that are cool. We're feeling enthusiastic that you can be average too.
Jazz!
So dumb.